This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in New York. It's the night before the fight night. If I explain that right, yeah. It's after the weigh-in anyway, a few hours after the weigh-in. I'm joined by Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis. A-side.
Thank you. Don't say that. Not in front of him.
Go and make us a brew, mate.
He gets it all.
I said make a brew.
How's Rocky been after the weigh-in?
Good. Yeah, we've all just been out for a big meal. Him and his family, Jess and the kids and his mum and that, his brothers. So yeah, he's in good spirits. He's rehydrated, refueled, and he's in a good place.
I was touched on this with Rocky yesterday, but has it been kind of difficult with kind of having two very, very high-profile fights, kind of back-to-back, with obviously Carl next week and Rocky this week?
I don't think so, no.
It's not been easy, but considering like for the last 12 months or more now, so say 16 months since the gym got really busy, it took a month or two to get us into a sort of routine of staggering the gym and getting the lads sort of coming in at different little bit of different time, so that they was all getting the right adequate amount of time, but they still was in the gym at the same time. So it did take a bit of organisation, but nice. It's run all right, and the lads help each other out. I've said it a few times. It's a big team effort. What do you think, Nigel?
I think they shouldn't. I think they complement each other. I think they push each other on, and the timing this time has been very similar. The shape has obviously been a bit different, but a week difference is not a great deal of difference in it. And they've complemented each other, they've pushed each other on in the gym, they've tried to exceed each other on every count. And so I think it's not been difficult, but it's obviously been organising. So, but we've organised it, and it's worked very well. So
the hardest part really was this sort of last week, where it was Martin and Carl's last hard week in the gym. Fortunately for us, they've both been in the gym for quite a while now, so a longer taper in a situation like that is always better. So we finished the last big day on Tuesday, rather than usually it would be Wednesday or Thursday. So a day or two earlier than you would have done if you were sort of doing a regular camp. But Carl's boxed 4 times in the last 15 months. So he's kept himself really active. Martin's, even though he's not been that active this year because of the dropouts with the fights what got cancelled, he's been still ticking over and keeping himself fit. So it doesn't take them both that long to get fit. So Billy, who helps Tommy in Hull, Billy came through and just finished off the last couple of days for us while we was both over here, because Nigel over here Saturday, I flew in on Wednesday. Nigel?
And they're all thank you, James. They're all professional enough to do it as well. They all know what their own bodies. You know, they're not. It's not like the novices.
Experience. Yeah.
If they were raw novices, it'd take more time, take more education to do that. But they're that professional that they do it the right way, and then they know the bodies and they know how far along they are, or if they were short. And I think it's coming to a.
Shouldn't speak about Carl like that.
Oh, he's very short.
That's not nice.
It's just it works, and they know exactly where they are, and I think they've peaked at the right time, and it's evident with what they're doing in the gym. You know, I wasn't there for the last session, but apparently Carl and Martin have just been a different level, and I know that from Martin's been sparring one of my amateurs who said he's just absolutely on fire. So it's worked, and we're very happy where they are at the moment.
We've kind of heard when Eddie Hearn talks about the time we kind of spoke to Rocky about this fight tomorrow night, but what was kind of your initial response to this, the pair of you, when you heard that this fight was in the offing?
Well, literally, I knew for 2 days, and I couldn't tell a soul, and not even my wife. I swore myself to secrecy, because I knew if I tell my wife's got a best mate, which is his wife. So they you know what it's like. You say don't tell anyone, but
pillow talk, but not on the pillow. But
exactly.
You know, yeah.
So literally, I didn't tell a soul, because Rocky is notoriously can't keep it a secret at all. He always has to put a little hint out there on Twitter or something like that. You just can't do it. So I was sworn to secrecy, so I had to keep it to myself for 2 days until I got the phone call saying, right, you need to ring him because we're nearly over the line with it. So at that point then, I could ring Nigel and tell him. So.
But what was your initial kind of response to that?
When I got the phone call saying Canelo wants to fight Rocky, I said, yeah. And he went, yeah. I said, why? And they said, because...
Thank you.
Hello, Anne. Yes, please, sir.
Like I
This is
said,
Danny Jacobs.
the A
Danny
side.
Jacobs'
Thank you very
unwanted
much,
coffee.
You're
from
in
the,
2 videos now, I
from
love
the
it.
earlier interview. There you go.
Amazing. See, this is,
To be fair, obviously notice,
you know you're at the top of the tree when Anthony Levy's bringing you a coffee, you know what I mean?
and also he brings the boss one first. Obviously, thanks for that. Cheers.
He made you pass me my coffee. Think about that.
Take care.
So I forgot what I was up to now. I was in my flow then as well.
I'll take you back. So they said Canelo wants to fight
so
Rocky,
I said,
and
yeah, why? And he said, because he wants to be a 3-weight world champion. What do you think? And I went, 100%, I'll have that. He's only just moved up to middleweight. So he said, yeah, honestly. I went, 100%. Do you want to ask Rocky first? I went, I will do, but I know what he'll say, because I know what Rocky's like. So I rang him. He thought I was winding him up. I don't know where he gets that impression from, because it's not like us to wind someone up. But I wouldn't have wound him up about something as important as that. And I said, what do you think? And he went, oh, I like it. So our conversation went, I wound him up a little bit, to be fair, saying, guess who it is. And I made him play a bit of a guessing game. And then he said, go on, tell me. And I said, Canelo. And he was like, get out. I said, yeah. He went, serious? I went, yeah, 100%. He went, I'll have that, definitely. Now, he said it himself to the press the other day. Every single fight Eddie's ever offered him, he's took it. He's never turned anyone down, and that's just I mean, most fighters are like that, but Rocky's just notoriously one of them guys who will fight anyone. And is it a big ask? Of course, it's a big ask. You're not going to fight the top end of the pound for pound list and it not be a big ask. It's ridiculous. But as a fighter, myself as an ex-fighter, you always want to test yourself against the very best. You want to try and challenge yourself and see how good you are. So that's what's driving Rocky. He didn't even ask me how much the money was. People was going, I was only doing it for the payday. He didn't ask me that question until I was back on the phone to his manager, and then the phone started ringing again. And I went, oh, it's just ringing me again now. Just one sec, just like hold the line, held him, and he went, did you say how much was getting paid? And I was like, yeah, and I told him. He went, oh, he said, I didn't even think. He said, Jess has just said to me, did they say how much? So that proves he's took the fight for the right reason.
I think that.
Nice, you got Sarah?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, just to jump in there, just to interject. That means they're getting in the middle. Thank you. That's keep going, kid. I think because of who he is and what he is and what he wants to do, he's not in it for. They're all in it to earn money and all that, but the kid really believes that he can do something, and I think he proved that when he went to Germany. And he was on a hiding to nothing really, because people said he was definitely going to lose. And if you listen to all these dickheads on social media, then you'd never fight anyway, because they're saying he's going to get beat off Soiger, and you just did a number on Soiger and just put in a performance that we expect, and I'm sure you're going to go into it, but that's what I expect again. Even though we understand it's a big ask, he's fighting one of the pound for pound kings, or a present king in the pound for pound rankings, whatever that pound for pound means. That's what he's supposed to be, and I think that Canelo's definitely chosen wrong. I think he's looking on a hunting, burgling mission. He's going to come in trying to take a super middleweight champion. He's chosen him because he believes he's the weakest person, and that's business. But I think he's chosen wrong.
Obviously, when you were fighting, Twitter wasn't really prominent in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Were you fighting in the 80s?
I was the 80s, he was the 60s, 70s. So, yeah, you're right, it wasn't.
It was,
I only got on social media in about 2012 for Sky, because of the ringside stuff. So, yeah, I'd have probably been a bit more popular fighter if social media was around then. But, like you say, there was only just computers then.
But, I mean, it's been quite brought up, and Rocky was speaking about it yesterday, and I was saying to him, you haven't, just because you like Rocky or just because you're a Brit, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to say that you believe that Rocky's going to win. But there's a way of being supportive without,
Exactly.
you know,
So
without
I have
saying anything negative.
I have no issue. So social media is very easy to criticise someone because you're hiding behind something. I have no issue with people saying to me, like I've just now, so I put a picture on Instagram saying, you know, Reddit shot the world, and it's picture of Rocky. Now, the amount of people who've messaged me saying what a big task it is, but I wish you all the best.
Fine.
Can't see him winning, but I really do hope he can
Fine.
do it. I have no issue with that.
Fine.
I hate people who go, not got a chance, he'll be lucky to last 30 seconds, blah, blah, blah. It's more a reflection of them, I feel. You know, the people who are saying, you know what, I don't think he'll win, but, you know, I really hope he does, because that's all you can ask for. You can always ask for a bit of support. They don't need, sorry, Nigel, I'm talking, don't speak over the box. You don't want you don't want people to blow smoke up your ass and tell you, you know, you don't need people to pat you on the back. The only people who need to believe in Rocky is Rocky and us.
Yeah.
That's it at the end of the day. So we don't want false bravado, but it's nice just to be nice in general, isn't it? You know, you don't have to be a dickhead all your life.
And it's a reflection on them, the fact that they're doing that, the fact that they're taking the time and they want to antagonise or want to be negative, and really they're not feeling any fire, they're just being dicks, and it's a genuine representation of what they are, and it's the fact that they're taking the time to, and they think they're going to get into a conflict. And sometimes I'm guilty of rising to it and getting involved because they're knobs, and I want to say shut up and listen. I understand you have to act a certain way, and you should act a certain way, but also you need to have respect and say,
you're a human being at the end of the day.
shut up,
That's it.
Dave.
Don't pardon.
Not you.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Do you know when? Look, let's have it right. Some fighters out there don't help themselves in situations, so they kind of, you know, they put themselves out there, and then when it goes wrong, it's kind of like, all right, you've given it. Now it hasn't gone your way. You kind of. But someone like Rocky, I don't understand how anyone could really say a negative word about Rocky in that way.
He's daring to dream as big as you can possibly dream in this game. So, really, you should be taking your hat off to him and saying, do you know what, fair play to you. You've put yourself in a position by a lot of graft and hard work from being, a 10-year-old kid, first walking into a boxing gym. You've had your setbacks, you know, devastating loss to Callum Smith, which, because of the local rivalry things, for him to pick himself back up from that point and re-establish himself and do what he's done, deserves a lot of credit. And he has got a lot of credit, so I'm not saying he hasn't got a lot of credit, but for him to then put himself in that position, and then for people to knock him for trying to beat one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world, is ludicrous. What do you think he's in the game for? That's what he's in the game for, to test himself against the best. So he's put himself in a position to give himself the best chance of winning. He's a far bigger fighter, naturally. He's a big puncher. He's a lot better than people understand, because the amount of people who come to our gym and spar him and then get out the ring afterwards and go, I didn't realise he was that good. He's so much more unorthodox, or he's so harder to hit. So I think Canelo's definitely looked at him and thought the same thing. His record doesn't suggest he punches as hard as he does, because I think journeymen early on in your career, you know, shell up and are good at surviving, whereas Rocky's power is on his timing. So you can't really time journeyman onto shots, whereas the more ambitious the guys are, the cleaner he lands the shots. So there's a lot of sort of underlying things with Rocky which people don't realise until they get in the ring. And we know it's a big ask. We know he has to be on his 100% on his game. But he's put all the graft in the gym. He's had a fantastic training camp. In my mind beforehand, it had to be better than the Zoiga training camp, because that was the best one, what I'd seen him in, and it has been. He's been better than that. So he's put himself in the best position possible to go in there and do what he can do. And can he do it? Absolutely, of course he can do it. Is it a big ask? Yeah, we know it is. But I know he can do it. I know he's physically capable of doing it. Bigger upsets have happened in the past.
And I do obviously also think that
Nice, you got to say that?
a wise man once said a long time ago, that weight divisions happen for a reason.
That was me the other day.
Alright, sorry, yeah. Somebody said that, it was Jamie yesterday. they are for a reason. You know, £8, you know,
It doesn't sound a lot, but it is.
Yeah, but it's massive, especially at where that is now. So, you know, boiling down to 160, and I don't think he had to boil down to 160. I think, you know, I think he was obviously being a light middleweight world champion, and that's where he was. And then he wasn't as devastating at 160, but at 168, that's a massive, massive difference. So, if you would have perceived that he was actually struggling at the weight for many years, you'd say maybe. Like Golovkin, if it was Golovkin, you may have said, you don't understand it, you know, he's going up because no one would fight him at middleweight, and then he wanted the next big step up, and he was struggling with the weight. But he's coming and he's not struggling with the weight. That 8 pounds is a massive difference, and I think it will definitely tell come Saturday.
Don't forget though, it's not just about the weight. You also have to be a very good fighter, and Rocky is a very good fighter, and that's the thing. So people can't just go, oh, he's a naturally bigger guy, so he's going to win the fight. That's stupid. That'd be ridiculous to think that. But he's more than capable of pulling this off, definitely.
Just a quick one on the cut for Canelo on his eye.
I would say it looks terrible. Genuinely, I mean, you can see him looks very fresh, but it doesn't matter. Cuts happen in fights. They happen in a lot of fights. You know, that's what happens, and it's not something that you can overthink. It's there, and I believe it'll open. Whether it makes a difference on the fight, who knows?
You've got to look at it was a terrible cut in the actual fight against Golovkin, and it didn't hinder him in any sort of way. So you've got to anticipate that if it does open up, his corner will look after it, and he'll just carry on like he did in the Golovkin fight. So you can't think about things like that. It can't be an issue, and then it can only be an issue if and when it comes across, and then they don't deal with it the way they should deal with it. So you can't bank on things like that. The only thing we're banking on, and I've said this to Rocky all the way through, don't concentrate on what he's got to do. You've obviously got to be very aware of what he's going to do, and we've set out our game plan. But don't get into the hype. Don't let the occasion carry away. Just treat it as another fight, and that's the way he's going about the job.
Okay, listen, I appreciate your time on a Friday
problem,
evening
mate.
here in New York.
You know you're our favourite, coup. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Definitely.
What's up?
Glad
The
you-
nation's
I don't want to be your
favourite.
favourite. I want to be your only.
How many?
You're not
How many?
my favourite. Definitely not.
You said you
You're
was his
definitely the fucking
16th.
B-side, Travis.
Hey, how many views have we had on YouTube?
500 million.
500.
Or half a billion, whichever one's easier to roll off the tongue.
It does sound better, to be fair.
Half a billion. Listen, best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, mate.
God willing.
And yeah, look, it is a task, but the only people that really matters whether it believes he's going to do it tomorrow night is himself and
That's right.
you guys. So
Every boxer in the world has to believe in himself.
absolutely. I'm saying that like I'm a boxer, but you know.
Absolutely.
And we believe. We believe.
You will be a boxer soon, by the way.
Yeah.
'Cause that guy's getting it in every day. Every day you listen to me. Carl Frampton's mate. KUGAN's going to get you.
Jamie Moore, thank you very much for talking to iFull TV, and obviously you, Nigel Travis.
A-side.
Batman and Robin.
Okay. Penguin.